Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Mystic Destinies. So we're on Chapter 8, Snowfall. And oh my god, that last part, we almost had a moment! Tatsuya's being nice, and he was being our handsome ice prince. Oh, all our wonderful princes. Anyway. I swear, these romance games are killing me. Because they're so damn good that, now I'm, obsessed. I am I love obviously point and click kind of games and visual novels and stuff, but now these romancy ones making me feel, making me want to play them, making me be all soft and squishy. It's hilarious, but it's wrong. It's wrong of them. We walk out into the hallway only to immediately run into Chisaki again. Why can't I say that? What are you two up to? I'm gonna take Sparkles the Unicorn to study. You are not! I'm disappointed in you, Tatsuya. Inara is our guest. You should consider her needs first. Not only is she still running a fever, but I'm sure she'll want to take a bath. She was soaking wet when you brought her in after all. Oh, right. I'll let you take care of that. Tatsuya walks off without another word. Chisaki clicks her tongue after watching her son leave, then turns back to me with a bright smile. I mean, you gotta be honest, Chisaki loving us to death is great, because, if you think about it, yes, I know, okay, they're in college, but, it could be totally opposite with, he brings her home and the mother's like, what the fuck are you doing with this tramp? Get this tramp out of my sight. Instead, she's like, my daughter, hello. She's planning the wedding right now, which is just amazing. And it's good because we're in love with him. She was planning the wedding when we were trying to date Show, I'm just saying. She's like, I've been waiting so long for this. Okay, turns around, yeah. Come on, I'll show you to the bathroom. Nice deep tub. Chisaki shows me to the bathroom and pulls out some fresh, fluffy looking towels. On top of towels are clothes, a white tank top and matching crop pants to be exact. I was actually just coming to get you to tell you that you can take a nice hot bath in here. I'd have run it myself, but I'm not sure what temperature you'd like it at. Thanks, but what are these? Pajamas? Oh yes, you weren't thinking of wearing wet clothes again, were you? I figured we're about the same size, so you can borrow mine while I wash yours. Oh, okay, thanks. Not sure how comfortable I am with Tatsuya seeing me in night clothes, but it's not like I have a choice. Chisaki gives me a quick run-through of how to work everything in the bathroom, and then leaves me to my own devices. What about your bra, man? I mean, I guess if you have small boobies, it's not a problem, but if you have big boobies, it's like, just be flapping around out there. Nope. Or underwear. Your underwear is sopping wet too. I mean, that's just weird. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe in other places, you don't borrow other people's underpants. That's just wrong. Or going commando, can't do that. That's just awkward and weird, and just I'd feel naked. I don't know. Even if you're wearing pants, it'd be like, I'm half naked. It's too much information. But anyway, it's just, I don't know how people can go commando. I don't know. Just feels like it would be wicked uncomfortable. Once she leaves, I lock the door and take off my cardigan and shirt. I'm reaching to take off my bra when I hear a sudden noise. Someone tries to open the door. I freeze, hands on my band. I did lock the door, right? I know I did. My heart jumps at the sudden sound of the door being unlocked. Oh shit! I scramble to try and cover myself. Sakuko! Stop locking the door every time! Just cover yourself up, because I gotta go! I didn't get a chance to reply. The door swings open, revealing another Yukimura. He's blushing at us now. He stands in the doorway, completely frozen. Oh! He blushes bright red and covers his eyes with some of his bangs. I'm so sorry. I'll go use the other one. His words comes out as a mumble, but I still hear it over the sound of my own wildly hammering heart. Looking at anywhere but me, he quickly retreats, slamming the bathroom door behind him. I immediately rush to the door and lock it. My cheeks burn with embarrassment. I lock the door and avoid that exact situation, but he unlocked it anyway. I locked the door to avoid that exact situation, but he unlocked it anyway. What kind of person just unlocks a door when he knows someone's in there? I stare at the closed door for a moment, as if expecting it to suddenly fly open again. At least if it was Tatsuya rushing in to, just passionately kiss you or something, that would be acceptable. I figured it was going to be the little girl because she's obnoxious as all get out. No, I should just go ahead and get in the bath. Yeah, quickly. I finish undressing quickly and hop in the shower to rinse off, although not without many nervous glances toward the bathroom door. By the time I get into the bathtub, I feel much less paranoid about someone barging into the bathroom again. Oh, look, does it actually have water in it now? They even changed that, like the backdrop. It's not just like a tub, now it's got water in it. Like, you didn't have to do that, but they did. I like that. The hot water soothes my tense muscles, and I start to relax. With nothing else to do and nothing to distract myself with, my mind begins to wander to things I had been trying very hard not to think about. Mother, no, Shizuka. Even in the hot water, I feel a chill pass through me at the very thought of her name. I know that I've been trying not to think about her, or what she did, and I know that isn't healthy. But I just don't have time to deal with that stuff. What happened, happened, right? I sigh. It's not even just that, is it? I'm afraid that everything would start to feel like too much if I thought about it. A heavy feeling settles on my chest. I wonder, would it help if I could talk about it with someone? Could I ever even tell anyone about all of this? An image of a certain grumpy face flashes in my mind. Could I possibly tell someone like Tatsuya? He seems so calm and logical about everything sometimes. And he knows about my situation a little, so would he be able to understand? As soon as I think this, I feel strange. Almost like it's a relief just to allow these thoughts. He might be the only person I wanted to tell about it all along. But I'm scared. What if he doesn't care? What if he doesn't want to hear? I sigh again. Thinking about all of this only made me realize how unsure I am about everything. Well, I won't get any answers for anything while I'm here. I pull myself out of the water and dry myself off before getting dressed. After getting out of the bath, Chisaki informed me that dinner would be done soon. With nothing else to do and Tatsuya nowhere to be found, I decided to go out to the balcony for a bit of fresh air. But when I get closer to opening the door, I see Tatsuya there, who seems to have had the same idea as I did. I don't think he noticed me walk up, so I turn around and leave as quietly as I can. No, you should just go out and talk to him, goddammit! Wait a minute. Please stay. Yes, thank you! Like, no, go back! Please stay. Yes! Oh my god, I can't handle it. I freeze in my spot when he suddenly calls out to me. I turn back to look at him. Are you wearing... He's blushing. I bet she insisted on it. I apologize for my family. They can be kind of... It's okay. I'm not sure what else to say, so I stay quiet. Tatsuya seems to be thinking, so yet another awkward silence settles over us. Oh my god, just kiss him already. I eye the balcony door. Maybe I should just go then. About Katsunosuke. My heart starts when Tatsuya suddenly begins speaking. His voice is quiet, but with the silence surrounding us, I can hear him perfectly. He's technically my cousin, and his full title is the Exalted Leader of the Ryu clan. Katsu became clan leader at a young age after an accident happened to the person who was originally supposed to take over. He's one of the worst leaders in our recorded history. He's been slowly sucking the clan dry of resources for years. And now he's trying to sell everything we own off for reasons that I can't begin to fathom. He sighs and looks up at the sky. My family used to live in the Ryu compound, but we were forced to move out when the Kasimas came to power. We bought this house when I was back in high school. Forced? I want to ask more, but I'm not entirely sure I should. Unable to hear my thoughts, Tatsuya continues speaking. My mother opened Blue Sky Cafe years ago. It was her dream since before even I was born. But now Katsu is trying to take that away from her. He's trying to do the same thing to many others. The Ryu clan is large, scattered all over Japan. Hundreds of people would be affected by his decisions. Tatsuya turns to fully face me. Do you understand my position on the issue now? Do you understand why I'm trying to make sure this deal with Shinomura doesn't go through? I think so, yes. But I'll still do what's best for Shinomura Industries in the end. He nods as if he was expecting this answer. Remember this then. I'll use all of my limited power to do what's best for my family as well. We stare at each other, and I feel like we've come to understand each other better. It's rare to meet someone my own age who takes their responsibilities this seriously, but I can understand and respect it at least. The night breeze blows through me, and I shiver despite myself. We should get back inside. I don't know if he noticed me shiver or not, but I'm completely willing to follow along with that suggestion. Tatsuya slides open the balcony door and stands aside to let me go first. A smile forms on my lips as I walk back inside. I nearly walk right into Tatsuya's little sister, who is headed toward us. Oops, she's so tiny I could have knocked her over by accident, or on purpose, right down the stairs. She looks up at both of us. There you guys are. Have you seen Yuki anywhere? His girlfriend is on the phone for him. Before I can even open my mouth, the door on my right flies open, and Toshiyuki comes out. He takes the phone from Sakuko's hand and briefly looks at me. Hey, charge your cell phone next time. Without saying a single word to any of us, he retreats back into his room. As soon as the door closes, I can hear him talking on the phone. Sakuko stares at the closed door for a bit before snorting. He's in so deep. She then turns to me with a smile. Dinner is ready, so Mom told you guys to come eat. She turns on her heel and starts to walk away. Then, as if remembering something, she stops and looks back at me. Oh, I guess if you're going to be around from now on, I should formally introduce myself. Sakuko Yukimura. I'm the youngest, but definitely the best of all three Yukimura siblings. Sakuko. With that, she finally walks off toward the kitchen, leaving me standing there in the middle of the hallway. I stare after her, then blink. Your little sister, she's quite something. Yeah, I know. Just imagine having to live with her. I try to imagine Big Brother Tatsuya dealing with a little sister like Sakuko, and I can't help but smile. Not wanting to be late, we follow after Sakuko to the kitchen. I enter the dining room to find Sakuko already sitting at the table. Toshiyuko nowhere to be found. That's because you literally just walked downstairs and he was in his room 2 seconds ago. Chisaki sets down the last dish and looks up at me with a smile. There you are, Inara. Come sit. My husband is still at work, so it'll be just us for now. I nod and quietly sit down next to Tatsuya. When I look down at the table, I can't help but notice that all the dishes seem to be either room temperature or cold. Because they're dragons. They're ice dragons. Chisaki sits down at the other side of the table, right in front of me. Since you're here, I made some things that are normally served cold. We normally eat even hot foods cold. My Haruki, I guess that's her husband's name, Haruki? Okay, has gotten used to it, but I figured this would be better compromise for you. Oh, thank you. As everyone begins to eat, I join in. I space out for a little while, lost in my thoughts, but Chisaki starts what feels like an interrogation. Sorry, I read that wrong. So tell me, Inara, how old are you? I'm 20. I see, so a little younger than Tatsuya. And what about your family? Do you have any siblings? I have a younger stepsister. Do you two get along? Yes, really well, in fact. We've always been close. So what are you studying? Well, I'd like to go into business. Crap, nearly mentioned I'm the Shinomura CEO's daughter. Chisaki gives me a curious look, and behind her eyes I notice a strange twinkle. And by that I take it you mean that one day you hope to become the next CEO of Shinomura Industries. How does she... I fidget in my seat, unsure of what to say. I wonder if Tatsuya told her, or if it'd be rude to ask how she knew. The discomfort I feel threatens to drag me down into its depth. When I think about her possibly knowing that Shinomura is trying to buy out her business, instead of saying anything I'm thinking, I smooth my expression and answer her question. Well, yes, one day I'd like to. Chisaki looks satisfied at having gotten an answer out of me. I get the distinct feeling that answering it honestly was a good thing. We continue to eat in relative silence after that, and I find myself enjoying the meal. Chisaki is a super good cook. I'm peering at Chisaki as I eat when something Tatsuya said crosses my mind. He was very vehement about people's dreams being taken away against their wishes. Maybe, if I ask about Chisaki's, I can better understand him. Mrs. Yukimura, can I ask you something? Of course, darling, go ahead. I was wondering if you could maybe tell me about your cafe. Her blue eyes suddenly sparkle with happiness. Of course! It's not much of a story, though. I'd always wanted to have my own career, and cooking and baking was something I liked to do as a hobby. But my father would never let me work or do anything for myself, until the clan started losing money. It's ironic, but it's thanks to that I was able to convince him to let me work and borrow the money to start Blue Sky. I named it Blue Sky because it represents the freedom I felt when I was able to finally open it, as well as the kind of atmosphere I wanted. Days when the skies are bright blue are the kind of days I always want to see. I wish the clan hadn't started doing poorly, but at least something good came out of Katsunasuke's ambitions. Sakuko scoffs and rolls her eyes. Katsu is an idiot who doesn't give a damn about the clan. He only cares about his women and money. Sakuko! You're too young to use language like that. Alright, fine, I'm sorry. She's kind of a pain in the ass, but, right. I look down at my hands. I feel like I've been suddenly kicked in the stomach. The things Tatsuya said back in my father's office, and now after hearing Chisaki's story, all of it is making me feel worse about the deal, and I don't know what to do. He said there are hundreds of people who would be affected by this. People like the Yukimuras and the people they hire, too. Sakuko, would you go check on Toshiyuki? Well, alright, but he's probably still talking to his girlfriend. Sakuko jumps to her feet and skips out of the kitchen. The sound of fists pounding against the door can be heard all the way here. Tashi! A click of the door opening and muffled voices follow, then hurried footsteps, and Sakuko quickly reappears in the kitchen. He doesn't want to come to dinner because of Inara. What? Why? Almost instantly, my face burns with embarrassment. I know why Toshiyuki isn't coming down to dinner, but I don't ever want to explain it. I quietly get back to eating and hope that no one comments on my red face. I would just yeah, so he kind of walked into the bathroom while I was in there, and, I mean, she probably grabbed clothes and was at least holding her shirt up, but, still, that's awkward. After we finish dinner, Chisaki, Sakuko, and I sit in the living room together and have some tea while Tatsuya finishes cleaning up in the kitchen. Good boy! Sakuko cheerfully tells her mother about her day while I sit back and drink my tea. Chisaki smiles and nods along to her daughter's story, happily making the appropriate reactions in the right moments. And then she actually took the book from his hands and hit him over the head with it! It's getting so late, I should probably head home sometime soon. I put down my teacup and the gentle clink of porcelain brings Chisaki's attention to me. As if reading my mind, she smiles. It's getting quite late, isn't it? Oh yes, I think I should head home now. Nonsense, you'll stay the night with us. Our house is deep in the Chowa district, so we're quite far away from everything else. I'm not sure if I should. I wouldn't want to trouble you. It's no trouble, dear. And how could we possibly let you go after you passed out today? You haven't said anything, but I'm sure you're still tired and feverish from earlier. I stare silently at Chisaki, trying to come up with some reason that I couldn't or shouldn't stay. But I can't think of any way to refuse her without sounding absurd. I hold back a sigh, smile, and give her a little bow. Thank you. Then I'll take you up on your generous offer. As Chisaki's smile takes on a more Cheshire-like quality, I realize this is likely not something I could have gotten away with refusing. Look at her. She looks shady. She's like, nah. Let's talk about the wedding. Excellent. She claps her hands, looking positively delighted. Well, where would you like to sleep? You could bunk with Sakuko, or in Tatsuya's room. What? Tatsuya's room? She giggles. We would have brought you into his room earlier, but it's at the far end of the hall upstairs. She is such a cool mom. Like, she's ridiculous. She's like, well, you just have babies already. I love her. She's so crazy. She's like, freaking poor Sparkles the unicorn over here is like, what? I'm in his room? And she's over there like, just go sleep together already. I love her so much. She's so great. It was just easier to take you to Sakuko's room since it was closer. If you're sleeping with me, you're getting the floor, because there's no way I'm sleeping on the same bed as a stranger. And besides, the bed is too small. The most logical choice is just to take the bed, even if Tatsu is in it. He's too much of a wuss to do anything to you anyway. This family. Oh my god. I love this family. They're all freaking netters. Chisaki looks to her daughter with a sigh. Sakuko. She then looks back to me and smiles. I completely understand if you aren't comfortable bunking with my son, Inara. Who, by the way, is a perfect gentleman. I'm okay with it. Let's go. Then, what should I do? You are adorable. I was just teasing you, honestly. The guest room is actually free since my parents left last week, so there's no need to worry. Teasing me? Seriously? Ugh, she almost gave me a heart attack. Really? I don't know. I think most 20-year-olds would be like, I'm okay sleeping with the guy that I have a crush on. What else? His mom's cool with it. I'm cool with it. I don't know. Are you kidding me? I'm old, and if I were to take somebody that I was dating to my parents' house, I wouldn't be allowed to sleep in the same room with them. And I am fucking old. I am not 20, okay? Like, you're not sharing a room? What? Like, we're gonna do anything in my parents' house? That's creepy. That's wrong, man. And keep it in my pants. But, like, this is hilarious. She's just like, hey, I just met you and this is crazy, but you want to marry my son, and then just, why don't you go practice making babies? Let's go. Come on, go. Let's go. Kids, go. Shoo. This family is great. Alright, thank you. After my stay is decided for the night, we sit back comfortably to finish our tea. With Chisaki's instructions, I find the guest room. Her instructions how— oh, hi! He's in his PJs. Oh, hi. Sup? I find Tatsuya already in there, wearing pajamas. He's finishing making the bed for me. His eyes briefly flit to me as he finishes fluffing the pillows. Once he's done, Tatsuya walks past me. Good night. I stand next to the bed watching him leave. With Tatsuya only steps away from leaving the room, I feel the urge to call out to him. Wait, Yukimura, wait. He stops in his tracks and turns his head to look at me. Just fucking kiss him already, goddammit. Tatsuya's expression doesn't change, and his eyes reveal nothing. I know that they don't, like, it. This whole point of the novel is, like, not to, like, until you get kind of toward the end, but I just, come on, just, you can, we can still be happy with the story if you just kiss him already, goddammit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bash my microphone. It only serves to make me feel all the more awkward. Warn him against sneaking in. Thank him for all he's done. I wanted to thank you for, well, for everything. So, thank you. Considering what I've put you through, there's no need to thank me. If I've done anything to make things easier for you, then I'm the one who's thankful. I'll be in the next room if you need anything. He doesn't give me a chance to reply and walks out, closing the door behind me because he wants to kiss you, goddammit, he should have. I stare at the spot where Tatsuya had been standing just a second ago. Ugh, that guy. Can't tell what he thinks of me. He's infuriating. Trying my best to ignore the annoyed state he left me in, I crawl into bed. That's probably the best kind of guy. You know, they're just infuriating. You're like, you're so infuriating, but I love you anyway. Just saying. Yeah, sorry. As soon as my head hits the pillow, my eyes start to feel heavy with sleep. Just how exhausted I truly am hits me all at once. Before I know it, I'm out like a light. I feel like I'm floating in nothingness. I look around me, but all I see is endless darkness. When I open my mouth to speak, no sound comes out from my lips. Where am I? I try to move forward, floating along easily, but no matter how fast I move, I'm not even sure if I'm moving at all. I can't tell up from down or left from right. Is this a dream or... I look around again, as if expecting something strange to pop into existence. Nothing. I float helplessly in the empty space. What feels like minutes soon turns into hours. Then days. Weeks, and I start to lose sense of myself. I hold my hands up in front of my face. At least I can see something this time. I can't! As numbness slowly starts overtaking my body, I briefly feel a strange tug at my chest, and I can hear a distant voice calling my name. I look around, but there's nothing and no one in sight. Another faint whisper and the feeling of wind on my skin. Inara. The sensation of something tugging at my chest comes back, stronger this time. It feels like an invisible string is attached to my ribcage, pulling at me. I touch my chest, but I can see nor feel any sort of string. A gentle breeze carries through the void, carrying the scent of hyacinths with it. Inara! The whisper gets louder, and another tug at my chest. It pulls me forward with a jerk. What the? I can almost recognize the voice that keeps calling out to me. Inara! The whisper now turns into muffled yells. Another tug at my chest violently yanks me into the seemingly endless darkness. As if sensing something invisible in front of me, I hold up my hands in front of my face and close my eyes. I crash right through something. The sound of shattering glass upon impact and the feeling of falling. My eyes snap open at the sensation of wind rushing past my ears. I'm falling. Ah! That was terrible. Sorry, I just don't really want to scream. I see the ground coming closer, but I'm paralyzed. Completely helpless. There's nothing I can do to stop it. No, 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 no! I can see the field of countless purple hyacinths dancing in the wind. That's all I can see as I fall. That's all I can see as I fall. My screams are frozen in my throat. I force my eyes shut and brace myself for impact. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. It clicks in my mind that I no longer feel like I'm falling, and my eyes snap open. My body is floating, just inches away from the ground. A purple hyacinth tickles the tip of my nose. With a sudden thump, I finally fall into the sea of flowers. I sit up and look around. There's nothing but the field of hyacinths in sight. Hyacinths. It's hard to say. It makes me feel like I have a lisp. I don't know. What should I do? I move to get up when the voice from before rings out once again, this time from right behind me. Inara? I'm petrified in an instant. That voice. Slowly I force myself to turn around. Shizuka stands before me, looking down at me with cold eyes. I stumble back and fall. You? What? I'm sorry, Inara. Shizuka doesn't give me the time to even comprehend her words. In a split second, her face is just inches away from mine. I can't move. Her eyes start to glow, and a tingling numbness spreads out from my chest to every part of my body. It's as if a billion of tiny... It's as if a billion tiny needles start to poke and prod me. No! Wait! Please, no! An emotion I can't quite place flickers in her eyes for the briefest of moments. As if completely deaf to my pleas, Shizuka reaches out to me. She touches my forehead right between the eyes with her index finger. At first, nothing happens, and I dare to hope that nothing will. But that hope is dashed soon enough. I yelp at the feeling of the intense cold against my skin. Shizuka moves away from me, but it doesn't go away. The cold spreads out rapidly from where she touched me. So cold it burns. It's hard to breathe. My lungs are closing up. I look up at Shizuka. She watches me in silence as my body starts to freeze. But please, stop. My voice cuts out. I can't breathe. Everything starts to fade around me. All I see before the darkness takes me is her glowing eyes. I startle awake with a gasp for breath. It feels as if I had actually been suffocating. I can feel the hot tears running down my face, but there's nothing I can do to stop them. I blink to chase the blurriness away, as the world comes more into focus. I finally see it. Tatsuya's worried face looking down at me. Oh, hold me. He gently touches my arm. Sparkles the unicorn. Why don't you try and sit up? My eyes trail downwards to where Tatsuya's hand is touching my arm. He seems to realize where my gaze is and immediately removes his hand away from me. No, don't stop. Don't scream, please. I just thought I should wake you up. You were screaming and crying a lot. I could hear it through the wall. I run my hand over my face, wiping the tears away. My heart is beating fast and hard. It drums wildly against my ribcage. Everything seems so real in my dream. Was it even a dream? I can still feel the chill on my skin, and the smell of hyacinth still hangs in the air. Tatsuya stands up, looking no less worried than before. I'll go back to bed then. He turns away, but before he can make a single step, I grab his arm. I shouldn't. Too afraid to look up at him, I look away. Wait, please. Please just stay here a minute longer. Tatsuya doesn't say anything, but he doesn't move either, so I continue. I'm sorry. I know that what I'm asking for isn't rational. I know that. But I'm scared. I feel so scared and helpless, and I don't... It would help me if you could just stay here. He doesn't say anything for a while. Eventually he frowns and sighs. When he begins to talk, I look up at him. Can I sit on the bed then? I let go of his arm and nod. Tatsuya sits down on the very edge of the bed, maintaining as much distance between us as possible in the situation. I find myself scooting closer to him, like a child desperate for comfort from a parent. After a few moments of silence, Tatsuya slowly, hesitantly reaches out and takes my trembling hands. Oh, so cute. His hands feel so warm. He's not usually this warm, is he? Because he loves you. He's kind of blushing. With a sigh, I relax a little and lean against his shoulder. I can feel his body stiffen, but he doesn't move. With his soothing presence next to me, it's like the floodgates open. Tears begin to roll down my cheeks, one after the other, and soon enough, I'm sobbing on him. Aww. Tatsuya doesn't comment. Instead, he puts his arm around me, and I lie my head on his chest. I'm gonna cry. I don't know how much time passes, but before long, I manage to stop crying. I try to dry my tears away with the back of my hand. Can I tell you something I haven't told anyone else? I look up at Tatsuya. He fidgets under my gaze. I don't have to be a mind reader to tell what's going through his head. Nervousness and confusion as to why I would share something with him of all people. I don't have to wait long for him to decide. He nods and whispers. I'll listen. I breathe in deeply. I'm gonna do this. It's okay. I need this. I should have told someone weeks ago. Before I came to Hagawara, I had no idea any of this existed. As far as I was concerned, magic and dragons and anything of the sort was all fictional. But then, during one weekend, my mother asked me to meet her, and it was then that she revealed it to me. She told me that I'm not human, that she's some ancient sorceress, and that she used alchemy to create me. Tatsuya frowns at the word create, but doesn't comment. She said that I'm not human, that I'm something called a homunculus. That just sounds like a golem. Like, it just sounds like you should be all lumpy and blumpy and not like normal looking. It's just, I don't know why. I shudder. She forced me into some ritual I still can't comprehend. It gave me her powers and what she called the curse of immortality. And that's why I don't have a handle on my powers, and why I know so little about this world. I let myself fall silent for a little. Having said this much already, would it hurt to tell him everything? That's my past, but there's something else too. Something else I've been thinking about lately. My father chose me to be his successor to Shinomura Industries. That's why I'm studying business. He's always been so good to me. I want to make him proud. But honestly, right now I'm not sure if I'm cut out for the role of CEO at all. Because time after time, I keep messing everything up. And if I'm not, then everything will fall to my little sister, who has dreams of her own. In a small voice, almost too low to hear, I add, and I'll have failed her. Tatsuya says nothing. Look at him. Oh, just look at him. I wonder if he might be too shocked about everything I've spilled to say anything at all. But that's when his quiet voice cuts through the complete silence in the room. I've often wondered if I can do what it takes to lead the Yukimura family. I'm the eldest, so I've always taken on all the responsibilities so my siblings don't have to worry about anything. His voice somehow feels so soothing. My dreams, my hobbies, I've long since given them up. I feel like I had to become an adult while I was still a child. Even with all I'm doing, my clan still suffers. My family still suffers. So I don't know if I'm the right person. Don't know that I can tell if you're qualified. I'm not good enough yet. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm trying very hard to hear what Tatsuya has to say, but my eyes feel so heavy that I find myself fading in and out of consciousness. Though, always end up hurting, since you... So tired. My whole body feels heavy, and I lean into him, feeling comfortable. Maybe if I just close my eyes for a little. Just for a minute. Oh, I should just fell asleep while he was holding her. That's so cute. But he was saying something about, since you know. I would have been like, since I what? What? Since you're in love with me? Huh? What? Yeah, because that's how it's going. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this part up here because we're at chapter 9. Okay, so anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.